What's up squad, my name is ESO and welcome back to the channel where I show you the best weapons in Fallout 4. Today I will be showing you how to get the Western Revolver in Nuka World. Legendary effects aside, this is the hardest hitting pistol in the entire game, capable of doing 2,765 damage in one shot. Once I show you how to get it, I'll also show you how to build your character so that you can do the most damage possible with it. The weapon itself is absolutely ridiculous because it is effectively a long range shotgun. You can literally use it like a sniper rifle or even close up in VATS. And if you know what you're doing and follow this guide, this weapon can actually do 5,123 damage in a full session of shooting in VATS. Now there are only 2 copies of this weapon available in the game. This means that the weapon is not truly unique, it's just extremely rare, and it's actually pretty easy to miss. The only other way of getting a legendary revolver is from a legendary enemy, which is very rare in itself, and I'll talk more about that later. So let me show you where you can find these 2 Western revolvers, and please listen very carefully because if you choose the wrong speech option, you will miss it. So the first location that we can find the Western Revolver is located in Wash Gulch in the Nuka World DLC. You can find it just here on the map. I'm going to be approaching from the south entrance, just here. And once we arrive, we must first speak to one of the 3 robot sheriffs. Now it doesn't matter which one you actually talk to first, because there are a few about. But you'll find this one near the entrance and I suggest you speak to him first. So just talk to the robot sheriff when you see him, and he'll first tell you that he's searching for a new deputy, and explain that you must clear out the whole of Wash Gulch. This is just part of the Nuka World main storyline. He will also tell you that you must go and talk to the other 3 robot sheriffs, as they all have part of a key code needed to access Mulligan's mine, and we're going to need that later. So if you look in your Pip-Boy, you will now have the first quest, which is called High Noon at Gulch. You can activate this quest right now and it will direct you to the other 3 robot sheriffs that we must speak to get the code. This is very easy to do. So for banter points, make sure you equip the cowboy outfit that you were given before you proceed. So the next robot sheriff is located close by. Just head straight on and to the left and you'll see the sheriff near that wooden pen over there. And he will ask you to go and retrieve a giddy up buttercup to put in the wooden pen here. This can be found very easily, just head over towards the Nuka-Cola drink stands, just here. Just take care of all the bloodworms in this area because there are quite a lot. And also make sure you pay homage to the Nuka-Cola's biggest fan on your way over. Then just check out the bin here and you should find the giddy up buttercup within it. So once you've got that, just come back over to the wooden pen and then you can drop it from your inventory and put it inside. Then talk to the robot one more time and he'll say thank you and give you part of that code. To get to the next robot, we've got to go to the left here through these houses. If we just head up the street here, we will then find the blacksmiths. This robot is one of the most important. His name is One-Eyed Ike. This next conversation that we have is very important, so please do pay close attention. One-Eyed Ike will challenge you to a duel. You will then have the option to pass a speech check or to hack him using your robot skills. But don't do this, because to actually get the first Western Revolver, we must actually accept his duel. He will then say,
I'm in. Let's go.
Well, all right. Hey, now, we can't have a shootout without you being properly equipped. Here, take my spare.
And present us with this rare Western Revolver and a few 44 rounds. So this is how you get the first Western Revolver. And if you missed it, don't worry, because you can in fact get another one, hidden within Mad Mulligan's mine. And I'll show you how to access that next. So we must now beat One-Eye in a duel in order to get his passcode as well. This is pretty easy to do. So after we've got his passcode, to acquire the final one, just head down the street to the old saloon. Once here, just talk to the bartender robot. He will tell you to deliver some Nuka-Cola beverages to a few skeletons. The first can be found just upstairs on the landing here, and it does look like she's seen better days. Next, if we just jump down and head along the street back where we just came from. we will see a house to the right, just here. So drop off the next Nuka Cola beverage here, and then lastly, come back outside and just across the road here to the blacksmiths that we visited earlier. And here you will find the last person we need to deliver to. So once you're done, just head back to the bartender robot and he'll give you the last piece of the code. So now we have all the pieces of the code and we can unlock the safe. So this safe is located here on the map in the theatre, in the south of Wash Gulch. You've probably already discovered this location when you walked past it. Once you're here, do take care when you head inside because there are a butt ton of ants here. More ants than I would care to have in my pants. Once you're done killing them all, just head into this room here and you'll find a chest with the code. And we already have the code, so we can just unlock it and get the key to Mad Mulligan's mine. The mine itself is located just here on the map in the very centre of Wash Gulch. This is where we will find the second Western Revolver. So once you're here, just head on inside. We can also complete the main quest in this location. Once inside though, head over to the right through this cave-like tunnel. Once again, do take care of all the bloodworms. If you just continue along this cave, you will find Terry's corpse here on the right, hidden behind some boxes. Clearly the West was too wild for old Terry here. When searched, you will find that he has the last Western Revolver on his corpse. He also has the employee's keycard that can be used to access all the locked doors in this area, so make sure you take that as well. And then when you're done, make sure you devour his corpse. Just continue down the corridor cave and you will find a rocket and missiles in the room just further down here. So make sure you grab that. There's actually quite a few chests and treasures in this location, so make sure you go and check it all out before you continue. But anyway, the main reason I made this video, let's talk about how we can mod this weapon, so you can become a truly awesome Western cowboy. But first you must get the following perks to truly maximize your damage output. So you're going to want to grab the Gunslinger perk first, because at max rank this will make all non-automatic pistols do double damage. Then we're going to want to grab the Bloody Mess perk for an additional 15% boost to your damage output. Now take your weapon and place it with great force onto the closest workbench. We will start with the receiver. You'll want to use the advanced receiver. What this modification does is add 54 damage onto the weapon, and it also improves the pretty terrible fire rate. But the damage of this gun is just insane. So next for the barrel, we must grab the long barrel. This will give you exceptional range. And I'm not kidding guys, this gun is like some sort of long range shotgun sniper rifle. This modification will also improve its recoil. So for the grip, we're obviously going to pick the sharpshooter's grip, which improves the recoil even further and also adds to better hipfire accuracy. And lastly, we have the sights. Now this one is really personal preference, and I'm going to talk about the other options later. But I highly suggest having some fun with the short range scope, which gives you better aim and improves your accuracy. And I mean, if you just look at how far you can shoot people with this weapon, it's just incredible. Use it like a sniper at range, and then when you're close up, use it in VATS, and this weapon just covers everything. But if you're not sold, just get the reflex sight. But considering you should have 2 Western Revolvers by now, you can actually have both. And a quick tip, if you get issue 2 of the Astoundingly Awesome magazine, you will actually do another 5% damage with scoped weapons. You can find the location of that magazine down below in the description of this video, so make sure you go and check it out. But I'm just going to ignore the damage boost of that weapon for the purpose of this video. So once you've completed this masterpiece, the Western Revolver will now have a total damage of 316. That's more damage than a fully upgraded combat shotgun. The only difference is that this gun has more range and is more accurate. Like I said, basically a sniper shotgun. It's insane. The weapon uses 44 rounds and has a fire rate of 7, which is just under 1 shot a second, so it's quite slow. It has a range of 197, which is just silly good, but it only has an accuracy of 83, which means now and again when you line up the crosshair at long range, you might miss. And then finally the gun weighs 8.6 pounds. You will find that this weapon bears a very similar appearance with the 44 pistol. The difference is that the Western Revolver does more damage, A lot more damage in fact. Once fully perked and modified, the 44 pistol only does 241 damage. However, when your Western Revolver is fully perked out, it will do 316 damage. That's a whole 75 more damage, which is just ridiculous. Now, as you all know, there are only 2 Western Revolvers in the game. The only other way of getting a legendary Western Revolver is from a legendary drop, which is very rare in itself. Some legendary enemies will randomly drop a legendary Western Revolver. There are lots of good possible effects you can get, but the best is the 2-shot legendary effect, which makes this weapon do almost double damage each shot. So your critical sneak attack would now hit for over 5,000 damage. But of course it's really hard to find this legendary effect on this weapon. Now let's talk about how to achieve lots of damage with this weapon. Obviously, because you cannot put a silencer on this weapon, it means that it's not ideal for sneaky characters. If you want a full-on stealth character that uses pistols, you will find that the unique Deliverer pistol is a much better option. If you're interested in getting that other weapon for yourself, check out the guide in the description below on how to get it. But it is worth mentioning that the Western Revolver with the maxed out Ninja perk will actually do 1106 sneak attack damage, which is just insane. And if you also critical hit with that attack, you will in fact do 2765 damage just with one shot, which is enough to one-hit kill most things in the game. So you can have some fun with that anyway. The only issue is that it only allows you to do 1 or 2 sneak attacks, and then someone will probably spot you, which is why the Deliverer is slightly better for sneak builds. But the best way to use this weapon outside of sneaking to get the most out of it and to get consistent high damage with it is to use it in VATS. The Western Revolver is the ultimate gunslinger pistol. By using this weapon in VATS, we can build up our critical meter and get over 790 damage every single critical hit. Now there are a few perks I suggest for doing this. Obviously the first perk we need to get is better criticals for the 250% critical attack damage boost. And then next we're going to want to get the max rank of the critical banker perk, which allows you to store critical hits for tougher enemies. And this also works really well with the Grim Reaper sprint perk that gives you a 35% chance to restore all of your action points and fill your critical meter each time you kill someone in VATS. And the way to make the most of this perk is after you kill someone, exit VATS and it will restore all your critical meter and restore all your action points. So this perk literally allows you to live inside VATS forever. So it gives you that ultimate gunslinger feeling. And then we also have the 4-leaf clover perk, which does a similar thing to the one before, but it instead allows you to get even more critical attacks in. So with this list of perks, you can basically do 790 damage per shot repeatedly. Now some other useful perks are Action Boy, which makes your action points regenerate 75% faster. And then we also have the Quick Hands perk, which makes reloading in VATS cost nothing. And this is quite good because obviously we can only ever have 6 rounds in the chamber, so it benefits this build quite a lot. And the perk also gives you more action points, and the more action points we have, the better. And then finally, for added flavour, we can also get that Gun Fu perk. What this perk does is basically make it so the more enemies that you target within VATS, the more damage you do. Once you've targeted 3 enemies, you will actually start to critical hit every single shot. So what you should do is target 3 different enemies, and then anything else you target after that will count as a critical hit. So if you're really serious about using this weapon in VATS, I suggest you remodify it. Firstly, remove the scope so this weapon weighs less. The less a weapon weighs, the more you can fire it in VATS. Lastly, change the barrel back to the standard barrel because this also makes the weapon weigh less. It does reduce the range, but to be honest we didn't really need that range anyway if we don't have the scope. So with this new setup, we can actually queue up about 8 shots in a row, one after the other in VATS with the Western Revolver. Obviously because we got the Gun Fu perk, after 3 shots, every other shot is a critical attack. So you can actually stack 5 critical shots in a row. Those 5 critical shots would unleash 3,950 damage in one round of shooting. And if you count on the first 3 shots that we already fired to do that, it would actually be a total of 5,123 damage, which is just bonkers. And with the perks I mentioned earlier, statistically, your action points will actually refill after you do this. So you can do it again and again and again, just repeatedly do it and just never leave VATS and consistently output lots and lots of damage. Don't forget that you can receive text and or email notifications from my channel every time I release a new video. Underneath the video, just hit subscribe and then hit the bell next to it. You will now get notified as soon as I release a new video. Welcome to the ESO squad, guys. Now let's get back to the video. Oh, and you can also get the Lone Wanderer perk as well for an additional 25% damage boost and another 25 more action points when you don't have a follower. There are a few other ways we can increase our damage even further using chems, but I'll leave that for the build guide. So if you haven't already, do make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any other future videos like this one. And please do give the video a like if you did find it helpful. You can of course find lots of other useful unique weapons, armor guides and more down below in the description, so do make sure you check those out as well. And if you like, you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, where you can hear about what I'm working on next. Thanks again for watching, guys. My name is ESO and I will see you, loyal subscriber, in the next Fallout 4 video guide. Have a wonderful day and goodbye.